Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Hot Toys MMS 373 of the Arkham Asylum version of the Joker from the Suicide Squad. Now, as you can see, here in North America, this is exclusively available through Sideshow Collectibles. For the package, you got a really cool image of the Joker and a lot of graffiti and messy sort of stuff going on there, which absolutely I think looks terrific. Then our work carries over to the side, where you can see what this figure is based on. The scene in Suicide Squad, where Dr. Quinzel is talking to the Joker while he's in his straitjacket. Then when you come to the back, you kind of see a little bit different of a sort of setup here. On the intersection, you have the various warnings and contact information for Hot Toys, but something that they've been doing recently with a lot of their figures are giving us backdrops. And they do it here with Joker, but a little bit different. As you can see, this section actually is magnetically attached and it can come away, and then what you're left with around the front is that the insert with the cast and crew responsible for making them, and then on the inside, you have the clamshell that showcases the figure as well as his accessories. But what is absolutely terrific is the intersection of that outer package. They actually utilize it as that backdrop. You can see you have more graffiti on here. It says God's only child, ha 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 ha. But then you have the window and you can see the brick and everything in there, which just allows you to recreate that scene where this figure is based off of. I think that is absolutely terrific and something that I wish they would do a lot more of. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. Seeing how the package is actually part of his accessories, we're going to keep it out here. But also, let's bring in Joker now, and let's take a look and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Arkham Asylum version of the Joker from Suicide Squad opened up and out of his packaging. Say what you want for the Joker in the Suicide Squad. More often than not, every incarnation of him has been met with some resistance. I mean, I remember people not liking the idea of Jack Nicholson as the Joker. I also remember people really not liking Heath Ledger as the Joker. And now, we have a new version. And honestly, I really liked him. Now granted, the look is a little bit off-putting, but I think that Jared Leto did a great job of capturing the essence and just pure insanity of the Joker. And I think that Hot Toys has done an amazing job of recreating him. Now in terms of his accessories, basically everything that you see here is what you get. And it's really not a lot. However, it does still make for an outstanding display piece. Now first up, like you could see, you had that entire backdrop, which really does help to set this scene. I love that. Now setting him off to the side. In addition to that, you do get some cards here. They're identical. Well, they're not actually identical. I apologize. You got one here with the Joker and Harley, and they come taped together. I'm gonna leave them taped together because I think that it looks good, kind of standing it up like that. On the opposite side, you have like a court jester with a skull, which looks really cool. On the opposite side there, you got the Joker in his kind of Jokerish sort of look. And they're just, cardboard, but a nice additional touch. Like I said, just sitting there right there just adds to it. Now, as you can see, he is wearing a straitjacket, and to make it work a little bit better, they take his hands off. You do get a both right and left hand, but honestly, I'm never going to use this with him. And this comes in with some of the people's criticism for this particular figure is that he doesn't have a lot of his tattoos throughout his body. And this doesn't have any on his hands either. Now, for me, I can see collectors' point of view in the fact that they want to have it as authentic as possible. More or less, though, it just seems like they want to have a figure that they may not necessarily have to rebuy to get a figure with all those tattoos. And I see that point. I absolutely do. But in terms of the specific scene that's being recreated here by Hot Toys, we never saw his hands. So it doesn't make any sense to really put the tattoos on there unless, as I said, you don't want to ever have to go and rebuy the figure. So from a collector standpoint, I get it. I understand. But from a business standpoint, I understand why they don't do it, because it entices you to buy another Joker figure. So I do see both sides. For me personally, though, it doesn't bother me. Because as I said, this is his look that I'm going to go for. Now, in addition to that, you also do get the wrist pegs. You don't get extra wrist pegs, although, no, there are wrist pegs already in there, so you do get an extra pair of wrist pegs with them, obviously, you know, in case anything happens. Now, as I was showing you this, you do have the background. Now, you also do have this, which has a nice kind of tile sort of look, and then on the front here it says Suicide Squad and the Joker. You also get a metal, for some reason it's metal, a pillar as well as a little crotch resting sort of thing. Again, I mean, if you want to have them stand, this works perfectly. It totally takes away the need for the chair, but you do have that option. And then you also do get an extended piece kind of the ground itself that just comes, it's again a piece of cardboard, but it fits in here nicely so that you can line that up like that, wrap it around, and create a really cool look. I really do. I'm not even joking with you. I love the display here. Now, getting him standing there so that you can actually see the final accessory is a chair. Nothing overly specific, but you do have some decent detail kind of on here, like it's worn and everything. I kind of like how they put that in there. Obviously, it's just a little black chair, but you got this. Is this metal, actually? I don't think that's metal, but really nice paint that makes it look like metal. But that's it for his accessories. I do actually like this. This is nice. I love the dinginess to it. So, like I said, you don't get a lot, but really, what else would you need in this scene, I guess? Really not that much. But for the figure, absolutely terrific looking. The likeness on this is one of the best on a figure I've seen in a while. I know I seem to say that, but they seem to be upping their game so much lately. Coming in to get a close look at it, I mean, absolutely terrific likeness. The green hair looks wonderful. It's all slicked back as it should be. You can see for his face, he does have a lot of his tattoos. You can see damaged on there. He's got his little, well, it's not even a teardrop. It's just like a little J right there. Then you can see all the little kind of scars and cuts throughout him. Now, one tattoo that you could see in the movie is right down here. And I'm going to kind of move this down so you can see it, or just move the head out of the way. He does have his little card on his neck. That was a tattoo that you could see in the movie, so that's put on there. The rest of the body tattoos are not there though, so again, you know, people complain about that, but I really do like the look. I mean, you can see that he's got his little metal grill in there. It was described that they imagined at some point in time the Joker really got somebody mad and they punched his teeth out, and that just makes sense, you know. So for a character point of view, I can totally understand that, and it does make sense to me. And that was where they got some of the inspiration for basically that look. But you do have a straitjacket on here. Now, you can remove it. It's a little bit of a kind of pain in the butt in the fact that you got these 5 different straps that literally, to remove them, it's just like a real strap. You just slide that out just like so, and then that one gets a little stuck, and you can just slide this completely out, and you can see that he's got his jumpsuit underneath there. So I'm going to take it off really quick to show you underneath, but I'm going to do it off camera because it saves some time. But that's what you have when you take the straitjacket off. Again, really not much of a point to it other than showing you that like he does not have his body tattoos. So lifting this up so that you can see there is nothing tattooed on him other than that little section right up here, which again is accurate. As I said, that's all you could really see, that little tattoo right there. So it doesn't bother me. I do like the fact that they that looks like it's coming out a little bit. I do like the fact that the skin tone matches with the rest of the actual face and the body. I think they did a real good job with that. I do appreciate it. The actual pants are very almost silky, but they also have a little bit of dirt. Like you can see some kind of like dirt right there along the side. Along this side, it says Arkham. They are a little bit of a stretchy material up at the waist section. One thing that I absolutely love as well, and I know this got some criticism, is the way that they did the feet. Now, instead of, and it's nice and seamless here. Now, because it was exposed like this, they didn't want to necessarily have that joint show. So what they did was they essentially made a boot that was sculpted to look like a foot. Now, yeah, that's a little bit unsightly, but it's fairly smooth right there. Now, also lifting it up, you have some little plastic wraps around here. I'm choosing to leave that on there because it gives it a little bit more of a smooth look when you bend his knee, but that's what you can hear moving around there. It doesn't really bother me, honestly, that much. And like I said, it gives a little bit more of a kind of rounded look for the knee, but you got that big joint right there. So they basically put this on here, and you can see that you can remove it if you wanted to, and you can have a really creepy foot there. I like that. I think that that's actually a pretty cool touch. And like I said, you don't even really notice it. You pull the pants down like that, and it looks perfectly fine. But the rest of the detail, I think, looks really very sharp on it. Taking a look at it, and get him stand back there. Now, obviously, that limits some of the articulation, that he doesn't have an ankle joint. Let's see. My table here doesn't want to cooperate, so maybe I should just have him sit down on the chair, Paul. Maybe. There we go. The dirt and grime on the straitjacket looks really very, very nice. You can see a lot of stain on there, a lot of grime, a lot of dirt, just really very used and ugly. Now, one thing that I did notice, I love the wrinkles on there as well, is you have a strap right here. I wonder if it's meant to like have these arms go underneath. It would make more sense, because that way it keeps the arms kind of tight to the body. So I'll probably put that back on like that, so the arms are kind of going underneath here. But and then obviously, like I said, you do have his hands. You could put those on there if you want. I just think it's a little bit easier to slide them into the straitjacket without them being on there, and you don't even really notice it when he's wearing it. So I'm just going to make my life easy and not use those. Obviously, for his articulation, it's going to be a little bit limited when you have the straitjacket on him, but the head here is on a nice ball joint, so you can get that looking left, right, side to side, up and down and everything. There doesn't appear to be a neck joint, so I think it's all just in the upper section here. But the rest of the articulation is almost identical to every other figure that you would have. You got the nice rotation here at the shoulder. It moves in and out a little bit, moves forward and back. He bends here at the elbow and then rotates at the elbow. He doesn't actually have a upper bicep cut, but that's perfectly fine. Again, the wrists are basically going to be the exact same as they are those standard pegs. In terms of a upper ab, you can see that he's got an ab section right there, and then a lower waist joint. He also does hips that move forward and back very nicely. The very loose, thin nature of this means that you can really get these legs moving in any direction that you want. He rotates at the upper part of the thigh. He does have two joints here at the knee, so you can see you get a nice range of motion there. As for the ankles, though, all you're going to be able to, I just popped it right back out. All you're going to be able to do is just rotate it left and right. Unfortunately, you don't get a forward and back, but again, if you're just going to have him sitting there, I think it's perfectly fine just having a straight foot. It does look a little bit flat when you look at it, but again, if you're having him stand there, the weight's going to be on there. It's going to flatten the foot out, so I think they did a really good job with it, and good detail with the little toes. Now, like I said, the Jared Leto version of the Joker really is very polarizing. But Joker, just as a character, has always evolved and been different. No two portrayals are really the same. So I really do appreciate the different take on this guy. And while film-wise, I didn't like the Suicide Squad very much, I did really enjoy the different scenes with Harley and, of course, the Joker. I think a lot of people really do agree in that. And in terms of this specific scene, I think that Hot Toys absolutely nailed it. The accessories are minimal, but to me, they should be. The only real accessory I think you could add would maybe be a table, another chair, and a Harley figure. Or not even Harley, a Dr. Quinzel. But for what this is, I love it. I think the likeness is absolutely spot on. The tailoring and detail in the costume is wonderful. And I really love what they did with the package in giving us a really nice big backdrop. Now, while this was initially, I believe, an Asian exclusive, Sideshow has brought it over here to North America. So if you want to get it, that's where you're going to have to go. So this is a figure that you'd like to add to your collection. As I said, he is available right now at Sideshow Collectibles. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow where you can check out availability on this, as well as the rest of the wide range of Hot Toys 1/6 scale figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please hit that thumbs up button. It goes a long way towards helping me out, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you never miss out on a future review of mine. Or if you're already subscribed, be sure to click that little bell right below this video, and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, be excellent to each other.